At the beginning, I never thought about writing a book. I just wanted to write the story because I was bored. At that time, I was 15 years old, and my SLC examinations were coming up. I was tired of living the routine life. I used to wake up, go to school, study something, and come back again and again. That really bored me a little bit. So I wanted something special. I wanted something to pass my time on a very interesting subject. So I still remember this one time. Our science teacher was teaching on the whiteboard, and I was not understanding what he was teaching. So at the last bench, I sat down, I opened a used science copy, and I started writing the characters for the book. And after writing the characters on the copy, I came home one evening and I sat down to write the story. And the time went on and on. I wrote few pages, and after that my SLC examinations arrived. I gave my SLC, and I went to the run. And after that, I enjoyed my vacation a little bit. And later, my father, he bought me a computer. And immediately after I got my computer, I started playing video games and I watched various movies. And then he told me to stop it. Start typing what you had written in your copy a few days ago. And I was not really motivated, but still, because of his advice, I started typing. I was not really motivated, I just write it a little bit, 2-3 pages a week. And months passed by. Later on, my grade 11 exams were nearing, and at that time, I had written 42 pages. And I went up to him and I told him, Father, I've completed my book. And it was only 42 pages. And then when I walked up to him, he told me, okay, Anish, your book should have two things. One, it should have a very valuable lesson, and it should also have a very good ending. Maybe it is the influence of Bollywood movies on my father, I don't know, but he always wants a happy ending. Everywhere. And I know we all are very familiar that not every story has a happy ending. Sometimes we hear stories that end up with sad moments. I didn't tell him that though. I told him, okay, Father, I will do as you said. And time went on. I was in grade 12, and after my grade 12 exams were completed, I went to Chitwan. And while coming back from Chitwan in bus in Kathmandu, while I was coming back to Kathmandu, I was thinking about so many subjects and so many ideas I could change in my book, and I was remembering various scenarios in my book. And when I came home after the vacation, I was resting in my bed, and immediately I got up to the computer and I opened the file, but it was not opening. The document in which I had typed 27,000 words did not open. I tried many ways. I thought something was not working, and the file was corrupted by virus. My 2 years' effort was corrupted by virus, and it was not opening. I was frustrated, I was angry, I didn't sleep well, I didn't eat properly at that time, because my effort, in which I had taken 2 years, was completely destroyed. I almost gave up. I almost gave up this dream of mine. It's my only ambition and my only passion that I really indulge in. And while I was about to give up, I was reading the newspaper. I read a quote from Robert Scully. He had said, "Problems are not the end; they are just guidelines." That really inspired me. That motivated me. I thought, this is not my problem. This is a technological problem, and I was not letting a technological problem, something like virus, to come between me and my writing dream. And then immediately I opened a new document. I asked my father to buy me a new CPU, which had no virus, and I also installed antivirus. And then I started writing another one. And months passed by, and now we're all here on this special day. Now I want to talk about why I wrote a book. I believe that every creation, every existence has a reason. For example, for instance, if a singer, if he sings a sad song about heartbreaking, then we all assume, okay, the singer has had his heart broken, maybe someone has left him. It's the same thing with my book, but it's not about heartbroken, it's about something else. And there is one word why I wrote a book. The word is imagination. You see, my mind is very imaginative. I am never present in the moment. For instance, I'm right here, but I'm not here now. I'm thinking many things. I imagine myself being in different countries, talking to different people. Sometimes I imagine myself playing wrestling with Muhammad Ali, or sometimes I'm in a talk show with Barack Obama, things like that. So I thought, imagination is a very important thing. Imagination is the strongest weapon for innovation, because before the innovation, before the creation, comes the imagination. Let's take Da Vinci. One day he was just sitting in his home and he imagined, what if people could fly? What if we humans which is very impossible to fly. What if we fly one day? And that's when he designed airplanes. That's when he drew airplanes. Now let's imagine, what if Da Vinci had not drawn what he had imagined? There would be no airplanes now. So Da Vinci's imagination 400 years ago is now a reality. So respecting that value, respecting that thought, I thought about that my imagination should have a place to stay. I should give my imagination a home. That's when I started writing, because I wanted my imagination to have a home, because this idea, I feel, is very important to every one of us, because before creation we have the imagination. That's why I wrote. Now I want to come back to the main topic of mine, which is about the book. Basically, my book, as I told you before, I was 15 years old when I draw the outline of this book. This basically involves a Nepali guy named Alok, just like me. He decides one day to fly abroad to Australia, quitting his dream. Actually, he wanted to become a cricketer. He wanted to become the national team captain. But because of the self-told lies of the societies and the country, he decides to quit his dream and fly abroad. And once he's flying abroad, he has planned out everything. He knows what he's going to do, but nothing happens as planned out. He meets an old man and he goes through his diary, and there, the old man, in his teenager, is a war victim. He actually was sent away from his home, and he had to stay away from his home and from his family. And while going through the diary, my main character of the book, he realizes that how people are caught up. And the main character realizes that how people are caught up, how people are stuck in materialism, how people are stuck in materials. People only talk about new cars, new phones, new buildings, only Wi-Fi. People only talk about materials. But life is more than materials. Life is about self-love. Life is not about materials. Life is about finding peace. It's about unconditional love for the family and the country. It's also about having priceless conversation with the ones you love. And once the character realizes all of these things, he comes back to his country. And immediately he lands to Nepal. He hated Kathmandu, he hated everything, he hated politicians before. But now he starts to love everything because he knows there is a positive side to everything. So I have basically portrayed this character to awaken all of us in how stuck we are and how we should look forward to love our family, our country, and to see the positivity in everything. It is not only about materials, it is not only about phones, Wi-Fi's and cars. Yeah, it's kind of nice, but it's not for the long term. Main pleasure in life does not come from the things, from materials. So I basically decided to cover up these things in my book, and I would really expect honest feedback from every one of you, and thank you for being here on my special day. Thank you so much.